Welcome to the Keep the Faith podcast. I am your host, Tori, and I'm going to have to take these glasses off. My glare on my glasses. I can't see though. Lord have mercy. This is your girl, Tori. We're doing it live for the Keep the Faith podcast. I have my girl, Miss Carlo Dawson, on with me today. She is an author, motivational speaker, storyteller, singer, songwriter, dramatist, teaching artist, power of progeny, nonprofit owner, and director. And also, y'all, if y'all haven't got her CD, I'm gonna just throw it out there. If you hadn't got her book, make sure you get it. And when we finish this conversation, I'll have her put her information in so you can actually purchase her CD if you haven't already. And her song is actually in rotation on my radio station. I'm on Radio Baha'i in Hemingway, South Carolina, and her song, what's the name? We're playing a couple of songs. Life is Good, and I forgot the other one. But anyway, she's in rotation at Radio Baha'i. Whenever you hear the name Carlo Lachelle, that's who you are listening to. Today we are here to talk about an event that she has going on. But before we get into that, Carlo, tell us a little bit about yourself. Of course, we know we met some years ago back at good old College of Charleston. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
You pretty much summed it up. All my hyphens, some of the hats that I wear. I'm also a wife and a mother and an edutainer. I've been teaching for 22 years. So I teach creative writing and journalism. I really believe my purpose in life is to inspire, to uplift, and to motivate. And so I believe that I do that in the four walls of a classroom, but more so beyond the classroom and into the community. And I believe that that's my heart's work, is to be used by God to fulfill His will. And I really say, God, what do you want me to do? And I try to do that. So I'm just glad to be here today. I always love being on with you. So I'm glad to be back with you. And just excited to be here another day.
And tell us a little bit. I'm going to actually put the flyer on. Let me find it. Let's see. I'm going to put the flyer up. We're going to be talking about her event that's coming up in the month of July. This is actually the flyer. It's Pop Youth Leadership Camp. And I want you to tell us a little bit about the nonprofit organization. What made you start the nonprofit organization before we get into the camp? Tell us a little bit about the nonprofit organization and what made you start the nonprofit organization.
So POP really stands for Power of Progeny, and the organization Progeny is something that I started 20 years ago when I realized that some students often felt overlooked, underappreciated. And so I felt like thinking of my own self and how I was bullied at times growing up and how I would befriend students who often felt like the other and people who felt like the other. It really was birthed out of that. And so I actually was an organizer and a founder of that club at the school. And then in 2020, I heard from God that it's time to make this national. And I had no idea what was going to happen with George Floyd and the pandemic, but God did. And so during that time when I was actually home and I started the nonprofit, I found out what paperwork needed to be done. And I felt like this is something that young people need in order to feel included and to be inclusive of others. And so in 2020, launched the nonprofit. I have several talented board members across the nation who have offered their time. But the organization is about realizing that we live in a diverse world and that we should appreciate our strengths and learn from each other. And we can do that through learning about our history and in its totality, and also using the arts to do that, as well as singing. So that's what the organization is.
Okay, now tell us about the event that you have coming. I'm going to place the flyer back up, the event that's coming up It's Pop Youth Leadership Camp. Tell us a little bit about the camp and why you would encourage the parents to enroll their children in the camp.
Well, let me just say this. This is the kind of camp I always wanted as a young child. All right. But even as a parent, I'm excited about this because, and so you know, my children are going to be in the house. Okay. So, as a young person, I always dreamed about giving back to my hometown, Darlington. And I've watched through the years and I've seen so many talented people like you, Tori, and so many others. And I feel like this is a time for us to highlight the talent in the community and show young people that you can use your talents and your gifts to give back to your community. And how do we do that? Through leadership. And so it's important that young people learn to foster their leadership skills. Well, where do you begin with that? And so the camp is a 5-day camp. Is something that you may have never seen before because it is fostering leadership skills, but also it's pulling in the arts and STEAM at the same time. So it's going to actually be July the 10th through the 14th. It's going to be from 9 to 3 all of those days. And I'm blessed that some of our board members have really worked hard. We initially started with saying, hey, we'll have free lunch for the children, but no, we've gone a step. We're going to have free lunch and free breakfast for the children for all of those days, and free snacks will be provided for the children. But what I'm really, really also excited about is only $25, but it's going to include the lunch, the breakfast, the snacks, camp t-shirts, certificates, all of the information you're going to learn, fun and activities, but we're really going to have speakers. And I'm just ecstatic about the local speakers that we're going to have that are going to share what leadership skills they use. So we have Allison Caraway with the Terrence Caraway Foundation, who's going to be talking about how do you use your life to start an organization like that? How do you use those leadership skills to do that? And why is it important to do things like that? We're going to have Minister Derek Bull talking about using your arts, the arts, to help in the community and using your own talents to do that. We're going to have a mini mogul, a young entrepreneur who's only 14 years old. He has his own business. And he's going to be talking about his business and how do you start a business at that young of an age? What things does it take? How do you keep it going? And he's going to do some activities from his business. And then we're going to have Damon White, who's going to be talking about entrepreneurship and using that. And we're going to have Tori Williams. So we're going to have you. You're going to be joining us as well, talking about not only what you do in your career and why communication skills are so important. So they're going to get so much. It's going to be team building, character building, mentorship, fun, games, activities for $25. And if young people can't afford it, we do have scholarships available. So we really just want to bless young people. And I'm just so excited about this to be able to give back and really showcase the talents and the gifts that we have in Darlington. One cool thing that they're going to do is they'll get a chance to learn about social justice and get to create a social justice project. And they're going to use all those skills that they gained from you all. And then on Friday, there's going to be a showcase. And our goal is to have local legislature, local leaders come and see this talent on be showcased and get to see what they plan to do now. Like, what are the next steps? How are they going to use these skills to help the community? So it's just going to be awesome.
That is so amazing. No, and let me ask you this question. You mentioned that if there are students that cannot afford it, about the scholarships, how do they apply for that? What do they need to do in order to apply for those scholarships for those that may not be able to afford it?
So on the flyer, we have the registration, and on the registration, once you're at the end, it asks, how would you like to pay? And one of the options does say, do you need a scholarship? So we'll take that into account. We'll have all of that. And then about 2 weeks before, we'll let you know that it's been covered. It's going to be covered. Because our goal is, it's not about, honestly, this is not about making money off this camp. It's really about blessing young people and helping our community to continue to grow and to thrive. So that, we don't want anybody to not be a part of it due to monetary issues. We want all of you all to be able to be a part of it. There are only 30 slots and we're down to 25. So we want to make sure everybody who wants to be a part of this can be a part of this.
So you only have 5 slots available?
No, we have 25 slots available.
25. Oh, okay. So they still got time. And so let me ask this question. So let them know that since there's 25 slots available, let them know the deadline that they can actually register their child for this camp.
So the deadline is coming up next week. You don't have a lot of time. The deadline is June 28th. Okay. And our reason for that is we want to make sure everybody gets a t-shirt and that we have everything ready for the young people, and everything in order so that it can run as smoothly as possible. So June 28th. So don't delay. Register today. Okay.
Right.
Register today. I did not get to say where it's located.
Sure.
So when we thought about this camp, this is the first year we're having this particular camp. I've held other camps personally in my own business, but this is the first time my nonprofit has held this camp. And we started thinking about, where do we want to hold this camp? And this camp is going to be at a place that really allowed me to thrive as a young person. My parents have a property, and it is 1302 Brooks Drive. All right. And so the thing about this particular property has been very magical to me in my life. It's really inspired me, I think, my creativity and my imagination. And that's what I wanted it to do for young people. It's about 2 acres of land. So they'll have the opportunity to thrive and to be creative. And I'm just really excited about sharing a piece of my heart with these young folks. So it's at 1302 Brooks Drive, and my dad actually gave me some directions that folks in the area might know. So he said, if you turn off Society Hill Road onto Greenfield Road and just past the deep curve, make a right. It's located behind the old Starlight ball field. Okay, so we will have.
Listen, Carlo, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be like, Carlo, could you listen, I'm from Darlington, and my people, my friends that know me know, Carlo, I can get lost going up the street. So I'm like, Carlo, what you said those directions? Y'all. So when I tell you I get lost, I get lost really bad.
So I think, because my sister always tells me that she's great with landmarks. So I think we're going to have a little map. Okay. We're going to put that on the website, because we also have, if you go to the website, powerofprogeny.com, and go to where it says events, you'll see the camp there. So there is a map there, but I think we'll also put the directions that my father put as well. We'll have those on there for people. The other thing that we will have is, of course, signage that'll be leading up, so people don't feel like, am I going the right way? Am I going the right way?
Right.
So that they know that they're going the right way. But, when I think about that place, it was a place that was just full of peace and tranquility and imagination. And it's just a place where I know that young people, once they get there, they're going to realize that it's that for them too. And I think we need more of that. People in general, we need more of that. So I'm really excited about that. And I think parents and children will be too.
Right. But you said something very important earlier when you said about the bullying, because I've experienced bullying as well. Not only have I experienced bullying as a child, but I have experienced bullying as an adult on a job.
Okay, me too. Yes.
So I'm excited. I'm excited about this for the kids. And then I actually, my son experienced bullying as well. So I think this is actually going to be good for the kids. Now, how long has this idea been something that has been on your mind to do this camp? Because the camping, You don't hear too much about it. So when I heard about this, I was excited because you don't hear
Yeah.
about camps too much anymore.
Well, let me just say, I love holding camps. I've done creative writing camps and all of that. I just love it because I feel like it's a short amount of time, but it can have a powerful impact on young people, and you get to make lasting friendships. You get to have connections. You get to learn how to network. So I love camps, but I would say in my mind, like a kernel of like when did this kernel of an idea come to be? I always wanted to do it as a young person. I don't know. It's so weird that I thought about that. Like I said, one day I want to go back to my hometown and I want to do something like this. And so we know that with the nonprofit, we have been doing some youth leadership. We have some ambassadors throughout the year, and so the ambassadors get to engage in um, diversity and equity workshops as well as leadership workshops throughout the year. They're going to be doing that this upcoming year quarterly. So they will get to engage in that. But we wanted to have an opportunity where it's not during the school year, and where young people can come together and really have the time to just be young people, right?
Right.
The time to engage with each other and laugh, and but at the same time gain something that's going to help them throughout life. And so we feel like when we talk with the board members, and we all were planning this, we felt like first we wanted to do this in Darlington because I have several board members myself: Joey Grinkley, Shannon Allen, Carl and Margie Goodson, Tamara Goodson, all from Darlington. So we felt like first we wanted to make sure that we give back to our hometown. Have to start with hometown first and make sure that they get the opportunity to just really see how wonderful they are. See how
Right.
beautifully and wonderfully made they are, right from Darlington, South Carolina, and really highlight that. And so, how do we do that? The best way to do that is so that they know that they can hone in what's already within them, right? They can hone in on those talents and those gifts, and what does it mean to communicate, and what's a good communicator, and how do I learn how to really be a leader? And am I a leader? Yes, you're a leader. So, how will I be a leader? And so all these things that are so important in anyone's life, but especially as you're growing up, so that you can build upon those things and really be able to then give back to your community as well. Right now, you can do it right now. You don't have to wait. Give back to your community. And then how can you continue to do that as you grow and give back to the world? So um, yeah, it's evolved from my own dream, but we have a collective dream as the POP nonprofit board, and so we're excited about not just having those quarterly leadership trainings with young people and workshops, but to have it be just that time, just for them,
Right.
and then it's spread it to the community.
Now, is this something that you would like to do annually?
It is something we'd like to do annually. So this is what we say is this is our inaugural one. Our hope though is that this is the first and the best one. Okay, because you got to start off right? You have to start off in excellence. So we don't want it to be where we say in 5 years it'll be just like we want it to be.
Right.
No, we want it to be where we start off in excellence now. And so that's why it's so important for young people and parents to come on board and be a part of this, because we want them to take advantage of this now. One thing we realize is that life is fleeting. And so what we have is the moments we have now. And so we can say, oh, I'll wait next year. No, it's important that we take advantage now, because we may not have that same opportunity in that same way. So yes, our goal is that it is annual, but we really want people to take part for this first one so we can make it the best one because it's the first.
Absolutely. So I need you guys to make sure you register. The deadline is the 28th, which is next Wednesday. So
Yes.
make sure you register. And like I said, I'm going to have Carlo enter the information, all the information. She can put it in the comments. There's the link to where you can register. Now, if they want to reach out to you via social media, how do they need to get in contact with you? Like, say if they have any questions or anything like that? Is there email, or how would they get in contact with you? They have further questions, because like I said, I had some parents to contact me, and I said, well, I'm going to have Carla on, so if they have any additional questions, maybe questions that we did not cover on the podcast, that they can ask you personally, so that you can get them the because I don't want to, because I was getting questions I didn't want to answer wrong. I was like, so if there's something we didn't cover, is how can they get in contact with you as well?
So I don't know why it's not letting me type in, but you can go on Facebook, and you of course can find my name. You just write that like that, Carlo Dawson. But
Okay.
also, if you look up Power of Progeny, you will find that on Facebook as well. Or if you look up powerprogeny.com, go on the website, go to the events tab, and you'll see all the information about the camp there as well. But we are on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Power Progeny. So yeah, either way, I'm here. And I'll be available to answer any questions. I also don't mind if you call me. So you're welcome to call me. And if you have questions, I can answer them individually. So number 803-487-0945. Yeah. So yeah, all those ways will work as well. But yeah. And then of course the website is the same as everything else. The email powerprogeny@gmail.com. So we try to keep it consistent. So any of those ways would be ways you can get in contact with us.
Okay, and then one other question with the you said the camp is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Is there a like curriculum or like an outline for each day? Is there something there the kids are doing different days, like they're doing X, this on Monday, something else on Tuesday? Is there like a certain outline or agenda for each particular day?
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you asked that. So it sure is. Yes. So let me see if I can pull that up. So Monday. So our motto is embracing the power of progeny, the power of diversity, the power of equity, the power of inclusion, the power of progeny in you. So that is the nonprofit's motto. And so progeny means your birthright. It means what you were called to do. And so we all have a birthright. And so when we talk about weekly, what's going to be happening, daily, what's going to be happening, we definitely have different things happening each day.
Okay.
So just to give you a little bit of an idea, I'm trying to see if I can pull it up some. And I'll talk to you afterwards as well, Tori, because I wanted to speak to you about something. But on Monday, we will be focusing on, like I said, communication skills. We also will be focusing on skills where you're learning how to network, which is so important. Because I was even talking to my daughter about networking. She was like, networking? I said, that's why it's so important to, actually not just, you have to talk to people. And we don't always want to do that, but it's important that we do that so that we can know, eventually we get a network. Like you and I, we knew each other from college, right?
Right.
And so we're having the opportunity to network. And sometimes we, young people don't always understand like what that means to network. So that day, of course, we'll be talking, they'll get to know each other and get to know what's going on with the camp. But we'll also have our first, and so that's just that day. I'm getting to know the rules and some activities and things like that. The second day will specifically be more about communication skills and what it takes to do that. And that is where we will have you as a special guest as well, talking about what you do. And did you always talk a lot? They get to ask questions. They get to ask questions that, but they also get to engage in activities. So I think on that day, some days we have tug of war, some days. And so those are days when we're talking about conflict resolution. They'll get to do some acting as well. And then the third day is going to be about really about how using the arts or using your talents, your specific talents to engage in a community. I forgot that second day we're going to have Allison Caraway also talk about her nonprofit and how you use that and network and things like that. That third day we're going to talk about what it means to use your gifts to build up your community and what is social justice. Why do we do it? What are some things that are going on in the Darlington community and in the nation that you could do to help build up community and use your own talents? How do you create your own? Like, could you create your own? And if so, what would you do? And so that's why we have Derek Bull there, because he does so much where he uses his gifts and talents to give back to the community. And so we want them to think about their own gifts and talents. I'm like, what could you do in Darlington? Could you link up with someone? And so I'm really excited. Our goal is to have some other folks from the community as well, maybe some people who have visual arts, writing, things like that, so that they can see and talk to these different people who do have nonprofits, and maybe they can partner with some of them as well. But I know they're going to come with such great ideas. I know it. Young people, they have such imaginations, and they a lot of times they don't come with some of the rigidity that we have. We're so focused on how things are, but they often think of how things could be. So they're going to come with phenomenal ideas. I think we're going to have people making murals and gardens, and I really think they're going to come up with some great ideas. I really do. Some people might come up with, maybe they want to partner with Derek Bull, Minister Bull, and do some things. So they might even reach out to you, right? The podcast idea. So I'm excited for what they come up with, but they'll get to do that. And they also on that day will have like a creative fun activity they do, because it's not going to all be, so it's going to be fun. So they also have on that day, I think we have something creative and fun they're doing. And they're going to do some scavenger hunts. That Thursday, I think, and one of those days is a water day. So we're going to have where they get to, have a whole water day and explore. And I feel like it's that day, or it's Thursday. And Thursday is all about, how do you start your own business? Okay. So how do you start your own business? And what does that mean? What's the process? Just showing them that they can do it now. And if they don't feel ready to do it now, to not forget that it's possible.
Right.
And so that's where we're going to have Damon White. He's going to be there earlier in the day, and he's going to talk about things that he's doing. But then also we have our mini mogul who's going to be there, Jashawn Little, and he's going to be talking about his business. And his business is Chemicals That Change. And so he's going to, share about that process and what he did. And then he's going to take them through a STEAM activity with this business. But also they're going to get to start exploring how they could maybe do that same thing themselves. And that's also a day where they're going to get to work on their social justice projects too and have some fun. And then Friday is going to be a fun day recap, but also where they get to think about, Thursday they get to kind of work on how they want to present to the folks in the community. Our goal for Friday is that we do invite the mayor and other invited local officials, church members, things like that. I've already been talking with some folks because I was there for Juneteenth. I'm talking to some folks there about coming on that Friday and being a part of their showcase. They want to showcase. And so we'll invite all the speakers to come back Friday who've had a chance to meet with the children and see what ideas they come up with. So they'll get to do that. We'll have a big lunch on that day. Where they get to eat some good food. Now, they're going to eat all week long, but that's going to be like a big lunch and a big to-do. So, yeah, that's kind of how the week's going to go.
That's awesome. Now, let me answer this question because I know I'm pretty sure someone may ask this question. Since the camp is actually going to be in Darlington, is it limited to just kids in Darlington, or it's like Darlington and surrounding areas?
Oh, it's Darlington and surrounding areas. Okay. Anybody who feels they want to be blessed by it and feel like your children will be blessed by it, you can be a part of it. So, like I said, I did Juneteenth in Hartsville last week. I was giving the flyers out in Hartsville. We've been giving them out in Florence. It's anyone who feels like that your children can grow from this,
Mhm.
which I think all can. Yes, please come. It is not limited to Darlington. I think when we talk about what we want going forward with the nonprofit is that people will seek out. So
Mhm.
people from across the nation and the state will seek out this camp and will say, "Oh, I heard about that camp. It's in this town, Darlington. Oh, we got to send our child there." So
Right.
that's what we want for the future. So yes, anybody, come one, come on.
Right. I'm going to place the flyer back up. This is the flyer you guys have actually should have saw me posting about. Let me try to see myself. This is the flyer that I was posting about you guys, and I'll actually be sharing it throughout leading up until the week of the camp. But just make sure you register because the deadline to register is on the 28th, which is next Wednesday. Now, Carla did state that there are still the spotting the seats are limited, but there's still 25 spaces available. So make sure you register today. The deadline is June 28th and it's only $25. And she said it covers everything: their t-shirts, breakfast, lunch. And you know what? This like a lot of stuff that they're gonna have. They're gonna have so much fun. And when I listen, Carlo, I already said I'm like, I'm gonna send my son. Then I said, oh, it's for 8 to 13. So that's the only reason why my son won't be there. Because
Well, I'm going to talk to you about something afterwards because we have an opportunity for him. So I'll talk to you about
okay, great. Okay. I want you guys to make sure, if you haven't already, to make sure you register. Make sure you tell a friend that have children from the ages of 8 to 13 years of age. I think it's so important for children to learn leadership skills. And I'm thinking back, I'm in my 40s now, and I'm thinking back
it.
if there was anything uh when I was at age 2 teach me about leadership skills, and I don't recall having anything like that back when I was growing up because I don't think so. Not anything like this. So
Yeah.
please, this has got to be something annual. I think this is going to be a great thing, and we're going to be looking back like 10 years from now. We celebrate the 10-year anniversary, 5-year anniversary. I already see this is actually going to be something great. And like I said, we all let me tell you something. We're doing this for the children, but there are some adults that need leadership skills.
Well, look, you have some ideas churning in my mind. We can always have it evolve. Like you said, what about the older kids? So we can always,
Yes.
talk about some things with that too.
Yeah.
That might be how we grow in the future.
But I am so glad that you're doing something in our town, our little small town of Darlington. Darlington needs, and especially with all of the things that are going on in our communities with the violence and the youth today, because I feel like we need more camps and things of this nature because I feel like, and this is just my opinion, y'all. I feel like some of the youth, they their mindset with their you don't feel like people believe in you. um you need things like this, and there's some kids that they may be in broken homes and they need things like this to lift their spirits, because like I learned during the pandemic, there were some kids like, when the pandemic started, there were some
Mhm.
kids that, when they had to do virtual school, there were some kids that they only ate when they was at
Yeah,
school.
that's
So when
right.
the pandemic hit, they were like in trouble because that was their way of eating. Like, now we don't have school, how I'm going to eat. And there I heard so many stories that you would not believe. So kids need these type of camps, and we need, and like I said, they also need the to be taught the leadership skills about communication. And I saw Isaac. I'm not sure if Isaac is still listening, but Isaac was in he spoke earlier. Isaac actually, he actually did a book on bullying,
Oh
and he
wow.
actually
Okay.
speaks out in reference to bullying. So he
Mhm.
may be someone that you can connect with in the future in regards to if you do something on bullying, he will be a great person to reach
Mm.
out to in regards to that. And like I said, he has an amazing book. He has the shirts in regards to bullying. He's very big on bullying.
Well, let me say this. We are not limited to the speakers that we have.
Mhm.
He definitely could come, especially on that day when we're talking about how you use your gifts to give back to the community that Wednesday. We would
Yeah.
love to have him be a part of it. Let me just say, those were just some of the speakers. We
Yeah.
have some other special guests that are coming as well. So you don't know what's going to happen, okay? We're going to have some other folks. Maybe Isaac will be in the house. All right, so Isaac, reach out to me, okay? But we do have some other special guests as well. Those are just some that we have definitely solidified because we want this to, like I said, the best camp. Okay, because our
Right.
kids deserve the best, right? And our
Right.
community deserves the best. And I just, I feel like Darlington is one of those places that it's a treasure chest of talent. It's a
It
treasure.
is.
You know what I mean? And when I look at it, I look at all of the talented people there, and some people just don't know it. And some young
Right.
people don't know it. So I think it's important that they know just how wonderful they are. And that's what our nonprofit is about embracing who you are, embracing others. I do want to add that we want people of all backgrounds to be a part of this. Our organization is about diversity. So all backgrounds. I had somebody who asked, is it for boys or girls? It's for boys, girls, every racial background, ethnic background. Please come because everybody can learn about being a better leader, learn about your community and what you can do within your community.
Okay, sounds great. Well, thank you so much. Time. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but any final thoughts? Anything else that you would like to add?
I just want to say thank you for coming on and for always being an advocate for, you know, people with dreams. And that's why we love you, Tori. That's why we
Thank
love you.
you.
You're always a blessing. And I'm glad and so grateful you're going to be a part of this as well. And when I think of the light that you shine and you radiate, it's just going to be such a blessing for these young people. So thank you for having me on and for spreading the word. And I just encourage everyone to sign up because we only have a few days left for registration. Sign up today. And I do believe that your children will be blessed by this. So, again, thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. Make sure you guys register. The deadline is now. I was trying to be cute, but I can't, y'all. I can't see without my glasses. Listen, but there's so much glare on the glasses, but I can't really see. But I want to say, y'all, I'm struggling when you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm at the age where when I take my glasses off, I used to look at the older people like, the glasses are not that serious, but y'all, I can't hardly see. But anyway, what I was what I was gonna say is make sure you guys register. The deadline is June the 28th. This is a great opportunity for your kids. And Carlo has a lineup of some amazing speakers. And as she said, Miss Allison Caraway is going to be one of the speakers. I'm going to be one of the speakers. Mr. Damon White is going to be one of the speakers. And who knows, I'm going to reach out to Isaac to see if Isaac could possibly come, see what his availability is that week. I would love to have Isaac. Isaac is an amazing speaker to have, that you would want to have to speak to the children. I love to hear him speak, and actually he does different things throughout the year for the kids that's geared towards the kids as well. So I would definitely reach out to Isaac to see if he's available that week. And matter of fact, I'm gonna tell him to contact you and
Okay.
see what you
Awesome.
guys can set up. Hopefully he'll be available and be able to come during that week to speak to the children, because he would definitely add value. He has a lot to say, and I know that he will be add value. But I want you guys, encourage you guys, this is something amazing. Like I said, if my son wasn't too old, he would definitely be there. But
We got something for your son. I'm gonna talk to you offline. We got something for your son, okay? We do.
okay.
He can definitely be a part of this.
And I'm actually going to reshare the flyer, you guys. So when you see me post a flyer, feel free to share it as well. Make sure you get the word out, because we definitely want to have some kids that's going to benefit from this camp. And it's not limited, like Carlos said, it's not limited to just children in Darlington. It's Darlington and surrounding areas. So if you have children in Hartsville, Florence, wherever, I'm going to repost the flyer and make sure you register. And Carlo also said earlier that if there is a child that may want to attend and they're, maybe low on funds, make sure you check on the registration that you want to apply for a scholarship. So scholarships are available as well. So make sure you don't allow any child to miss out on this great opportunity. Listen, I'm looking forward to it. Yes. I am so looking forward to it.
Yes, and if there's anyone who feels led to sponsor or donate to Power Progeny, we definitely welcome you to do this. Like I said, we're pouring back into youth. It's not about us making money off of this. It's about pouring back into youth. So if anybody wants to sponsor, definitely just reach out, inbox me, or go to powerprogeny.com. There's a place there to sponsor as well, so that we can make sure that this is the best camp for our students, so we can give them the best. Again, I want to thank my Power Progeny board members. They work so hard throughout the year. They volunteer their time. So, and they have been working hard so that we can bring this to you. So I hope you register and take a part of this, everybody.
Absolutely. And I want to shout out to your intern as well. He's so sweet.
Yes, James.
I really enjoyed the interview I did with him, so I want to show him some love. I actually texted him earlier. I said, make sure. I said, we're going live at 4:00 today. He's like, oh, great. He's so sweet. He's such a pleasure. And I was like, and I told him, I said, I'm going to be reaching out to you because there's some things that my 40 plus mind don't understand. I may have some questions for you. Mm-hmm. He said, no problem. I'm here to help you. Whatever I can do to help you. Now, I love young people like that know how to help and they're willing to help. So absolutely. You have an amazing team. So you did a great job with who you select to be in your team. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I thank God for them. I really do. They're so talented and, intern talented. And so if anybody, if anybody's interested in being an intern, we're always looking for individuals. If you believe in the cause, and I believe most people believe in that cause of uplifting our community, embracing your diversity, knowing that we all deserve a seat at the table. And if not, we create a new table.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be, I'm actually going to be sharing a flyer leading up into the camp, but I want to definitely make sure you don't miss the deadline. The last day to register is June the 28th, which is next Wednesday. Register your child, register your cousins, other kids in the neighborhood.
The church folks.
Yes, the church folks. Tell everybody. Y'all know I'm coach. Tell everybody.
Like my pastor say, lottie-dottie and everybody.
What? Well, thank you guys so much for watching. And Carlo, it's always a pleasure to have you on. And make sure you guys, if you have any further questions that we may not have covered during the podcast, make sure you reach out to Carlo. She'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. And then once again, thank you guys for watching. If you missed the beginning, make sure you go back and watch the replay. And like I said, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to Carlo. But I encourage you, make sure you register your child by June the 28th. It's only $25. And she also said that was going to be one of my questions as well. I was going to ask the question, which she answered it before I could, have the chance to ask. But if you want to sponsor a child, you're also welcome to sponsor a child as well. Or if you want to just donate to the her nonprofit organization, do that as well. Carla, what's the website again?
The website is powerprogeny.com. So yeah, you can always go there. There's a place on there to donate. There's a place on there, of course, to register for the camp. All the information is there to be a sponsor. And then if you have questions, you can always inbox me, email powerprogeny@gmail.com, and we can answer questions as well.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a blessed remainder of your afternoon. And like I always say at the end of each podcast, whatever you go through in this thing called life, you may bend, but don't you dare break. Always remember to keep the faith. And we're out. Peace.